What's up, guys? So today I'm making a video talking about the top 10 cards under $10 from Sword and Shield. Obviously, this is a subjective list. It's just my opinion, but we're going to look at some of the cards that I really like, not just because they look cool, they'd be awesome to collect, but also, the potential for some of them to increase in price. And as we'll see, one of these cards is up over 900% in the past 6 months, which is just insane. So to get into it, first card we have Deoxys V-Star from Crown Zenith Galarian Gallery. This one's essentially like right on the mark around 10 bucks, and depending on when you're watching the video, it may move over $10. But I picked up this data basically last night, so like May 13th in the nighttime, and it's right under. So I figured I'd include it. To me, it's just a beautiful card. It's Deoxys. It's a legendary Pokemon. Obviously not a fan favorite to the extent of something like Mew or Mewtwo, but definitely a very cool card. The artwork is awesome. You have, just like very abstract colors and swirls going on. It's nice to look at. I enjoy looking at the card. And again, if we look at the chart, it has seen better days. It was up to almost 13 bucks. Then it came down to around 750. So you could have picked it up and made about 33% on your money. Obviously, again, it's just a singular card, so not the best investment. But yeah, for your collection, for your binder, whatever, definitely a good card. Moving on to number 2, we have Rayquaza VMAX 101 from Crown Zenith as well. This card's only a couple dollars, but it was down to about $1.40. Now it's up to around $2.60, so it's almost doubled in price over the past, say, 8 months, something like that. There are two Rayquaza cards from Crown Zenith, and I just decided to choose this one. They're essentially the same price, but to me, this one just looks a bit better. Very cool full art card, and only for a couple bucks. So again, definitely worth picking up if you want a Rayquaza. And as you can see, it's selling for up to $5, $2.75. It's a bit all over the place depending on the day, but we have seen a move up over the past 6 months or so. How much higher it's going to go, I don't know. Considering Crown Zenith is out of stock now, we may see it move up, even not out of stock, rather out of print, but most likely out of print. But we could see it move up even further in the future. Moving into number 3, we have Zacian V Trainer Gallery from Astral Radiance. To me, I really love this card. There was another Zacian V. I can't remember what, or maybe it was just Zacian. I honestly can't remember what set it was from, but this is probably my favorite one, especially under $10. Very beautiful artwork, just shows off how it's kind of like a majestic beast and like the human element, right? Like, very good juxtaposition there, and definitely great artwork. I like the background, the colors aren't super overwhelming. We have seen this card be worth a lot more in the past. It was up to almost $9, 8.50-ish actually at one point. Came down to a low of below $5. Now it's back up to almost 7, so up around 40% from its low on the year. Another beautiful card that we may see move higher now, especially considering Astral Radiance is out of stock. Well, at least the booster boxes are on the Pokemon Center. Fourth up, we have Flareon Trainer Gallery from Brilliant Stars. This one's not worth a ton. It's only about $3 right now. It's been up to around $3.30. It has made, moves over the past year. It was down to about $1.85, and pretty consistently over the year has moved up now to $3. Will it move higher? Probably. I really like it. Obviously, it has a yellow border. Some people aren't, at this point, fans are at least used to seeing yellow borders, but I think it's definitely a cool trainer gallery card. Evolution, again, I did include another Evolution on this list, which won't be surprising to a lot of people, but, definitely a cool card to look at. I also thought about adding in the Charizard from, I believe, Lost Origin too. Like a lot of these cards, these trainer gallery cards with yellow borders, very similar, under 10 bucks. I think a lot of them could move over that $10 mark eventually with time. So definitely, fan favorite Pokemon, Flareon, Evolution again. Definitely can't go wrong with a card like that, especially only for a couple bucks. Moving on, we have the Candace Full Art from Silver Tempest. I had to include some waifu. When I looked at pretty much all the waifu under $10, this is probably the one people would resonate with the most. Again, don't get weird with it. It's literally a piece of cardboard, but from an investment standpoint, this was a card that was up to almost $15 before the Crown Zenith reprint. It absolutely tanked afterwards down to around $6. Came back up to almost $9, and it's kind of just been, slowly moving up after it came back down after that. So I think there is potential for this card to move up over time. And again, it really just depends what happens with waifu in general. If that craze just completely dies out, which I honestly wouldn't be too upset with, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think people, love the trainer cards, and especially, the female characters as well. So I figured I'd add one waifu card to the list, and this was the one I chose. Moving on to number 6, we have the Pikachu Secret Rare from Crown Zenith. Very cool card. This was up to over 15 bucks at one point, right? And it just absolutely tanked down to around $6. It's now sitting around 9, so it's up 50% pretty much on the year from its low. Again, yellow borders, so it's not always going to be a card that people want to pick up, but you have a ton of Pokemon in there. Obviously, headlined by Pikachu. It's a really awesome artwork to look at that features rather a bunch of fan favorite Pokemon. Maybe not the most fan favorite, but definitely noticeable Pokemon from newer generations. So I think this card definitely could do well long term as well. Again, take all this with a grain of salt. Like, I'm not a huge singles person, but these are just some of the cards under $10 I think have potential. Obviously, they're a bunch above $10 as well. So that is going to be number 6 on the list. Number 7, we have the Ice Rider Calyrex V. I only threw this card in here just because I love the artwork. I think it's just absolutely beautiful with the mountains in the background, the skyline and everything like that. I just think it's really perfect. And it has been slowly moving up. Again, this was a card that was $5.50 at one point, came back down to under $3, and it's just slowly moved its way up 10-15%. I don't think you're going to see huge gains on a card like this in the future. It's not going to pump to like $10, $15, $20. Again, who knows what can happen. I don't think that's going to be the case, but you could see small gains on it over time. And, as a binder card, or, if you're a collector, this is definitely a pretty interesting card as well. Next up, we have the Galarian Zapdos V from Astral Radiance as well, Trainer Gallery. I really love this card, and I think a lot of people do too. As you can see, over the past couple months, this thing has seen quite the spike, almost back up to its one-year high. It was down to around 370-ish. Now it's back up to 580. So, 60, what is that? 66% move, 60% move, something like that. So, huge gains over the past few months in this card. Can it go higher? Who knows, right? Like, as you can see, like a lot of these cheaper cards have seen spikes over the past few months, especially as a lot of the alt arts have pumped up. A lot of these other cards have seen moves, as we're going to get to in the next one. Absolutely insane move. So I don't know how much higher a lot of these can go, but if you can still find them, right? Like, these are probably a lot of cards. If you go to an LGS, maybe even on the odd eBay store, something like that, you can find them. People haven't updated the prices. You may be able to find them cheap, pick them up, and do some quick flips there. So these are a lot of cards just to keep in mind, right? They aren't the super popular ones that a lot of people are going to be paying attention to in their stock or whatnot. So you may be able to still find deals on cards like this. And moving into number 9, this is definitely another one to keep an eye out for. Origin Form Dialga V from Astral Radiance. Again, another Astral Radiance card. Look at this, guys. This was a 78% card, or 78%, 78 cent card in December, less than $1. It is now worth $7.40. It's up over 900% in the past 6 months, essentially. Absolutely insane. I knew nothing about this card. When I was making this video, basically what I did is I just added all the sets to TCG Player. I went high to low on all the cards, and then basically starting at $10, I just went through all the pages, pulled out like a lot of the cards that stuck out to me, and I would just do research, and I was comparing some of them. But this was a card, when I was going through the list, like, it just stuck out to me. I was like, this is a very cool artwork, especially for just a regular V card, right? Like, to me, I thought it was very cool. Shocked, like, less than $1 6 months ago. This thing's obviously, more than likely been bought out, or someone mentioned it, or, I don't know, like, it doesn't make sense that this would just be like in meta card and this would be the one being bought out. To me, that doesn't make sense. So something happened here, right, that just didn't make sense. But if you saw this card for less than $1 like 6 months ago, would you really pick it up? To me, like, probably. Like this is a really cool card. Did I expect it to be $7? No, maybe something like $3-4, right? But again, this is a card to keep your eye on. Not that I think it's going to continue to move up a lot, but a lot of these cards, right, like the Zapdos rather, or something like even the Candace, or the Zacian V. Like a lot of these cards probably may be underpriced in your local LGS, or maybe some eBay stores. You might be able to find them cheap, buy them, quick flips or whatever, or use them for trade bait. These are things just to keep your eye on. If you see them in the wild for a good price, pick them up, because again, most of the market often is behind when it comes to repricing things. Like that's a ton of work to reprice a store. So, if people aren't on it, you can definitely find some deals there. And moving into number one, the top 10 card under $10 is this Umbreon VMAX from Evolving Skies. It is only, what, $5.50-ish, around there, $5.60. Really cool artwork. It's an Umbreon card. And when I look at so many of the Umbreon cards, like the trainer galleries from Brilliant Stars, the promo from Obsidian Flames, like a lot of these cards are seeing massive influxes in price simply because it's an Umbreon. This one hasn't really moved that much, right? Like it was up to over $20 at one point, absolutely tanked down to under $5, went back up to around $6.60, and again, now it's just kind of sitting around that $5-6 mark. Is this a card that could pop off in the future? Who knows? Like it really seems like people are just buying out a ton of Umbreon cards. Whether this one is going to be on, those people's radars that are buying out these cards, and we can see I'm moving this one. I personally don't think it would hurt to have at least one of them. Again, you don't really have a massive entry point, only a few bucks, and at your local LGS or whatever, you may even be able to get it cheaper for $2-3. So who knows? But that is going to be my list for today. 10 cards under $10. You guys let me know in the comments down below if you own any of these, if you think any of these cards are going to pop off in the future, which one you think is the most likely. Again, like I kind of put this in order of which ones I think could do the best long term, at least up top. Like I think the Origin Form Dialga, the Umbreon, obviously, I think, out of any of these to pop off, like that one wouldn't surprise me. Waifu Candace, potentially as well. I think cards like the Flareon V will slowly move up. Same thing with this Rayquaza VMAX. They'll just slowly move up over time. So, or just a Flareon rather, not Flareon V. But anyways, you guys let me know in the comments down below what you think of this list. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you guys for supporting the channel, leaving likes, comments, all that. Again, stay safe wherever you are in the world. I also have one more video coming out today. I'll probably put it out rather quickly. We have a news update, so I'm just going to get that out for you guys. Big one. If you guys are from down under, you're going to love this one. And if you're from other parts of the world, it may not be as interesting, but good to point out. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe wherever you are in the world, and I'll catch you in the next one.